Hello everybody, and welcome back to Mr. Anderson's Algebra 1 lessons. Today we are going to be talking about how to multiply square roots. So we're going to be multiplying square roots. Here we go, roots. Perfect. Multiplying square roots. And I wanted to do a couple examples for you today on how to multiply two terms together that have a square root inside them. And the big thing that you need to remember when you're multiplying these things together is look for like terms. So you can't multiply things together that are not like terms. And I'm going to show you that in a few seconds. So let's take a look at this first example here that I want to show you guys. I'd like to show you this one. Let's do, I'm thinking of it here, I'm looking on my page here. Let's do 6 times the square root of 6, and we're going to multiply it by 3 times the square root of 8. Okay? So I got my two terms here, and I'm going to multiply them together. And I cannot multiply this 6 to this square root of 8 because they're not the like term. They're not like terms. Just like this, I can't multiply 6 times the square root of 6 because they're not like terms. If they were like terms, I'd already be done and I wouldn't be in this situation. So, what I need to do is I'm going to split this up and I'm going to put the like terms together. I have 6 times 3. Those are the like terms. And then I am going to multiply it by the square root of 6 times the square root of 8. Now you can see that I have whole numbers here, and then I have the rational numbers there, and the square root. And they're separated into the like terms. So I can multiply these two together, and I can multiply these two together, and I'm okay. So I'm going to do that. And I got 6 times 3, which is 18. And then I have 6 times 8, which is not 42, it's 48, I believe. 6 times 8. Yep. So I have the square root of 48 right there. And from this, I now need to simplify even further. I'm not quite done yet because the square root of 48 can be simplified. It's not a perfect square. It's not a prime number, but I know it has factors. So what I also want to tell you guys too is look for your factors. Okay, so we got factors here. 48 and factors. So I know that 2 goes into 48 24 times. I know that 6 goes in there 8 times. I know that 4 goes in there, 48 goes in there 12 times. And 1 goes in there 48 times. We all know that one. That one's easy. Let's see if there's a bigger number. 8. We already got 8 and 6. And we got 12. So let's try 16 just to be on the safe side. And it does it. 3 and 16. So now what I've been telling my students is this. I need to look for my list of factors, and I need to look for the biggest perfect square. Okay? And so there's several perfect squares in this list. I have 4 is a perfect square, and I have 16 as a perfect square. But 16 is the biggest perfect square, so I'm actually going to choose this one to split my square root of 48 into. And I will end up with 18 times the square root of 16 times the square root of 3. And we all know the square root of 16, it's a perfect square. It's going to give us 4. So I have 18 times 4 times the square root of 3. And so 18 times 4 gives me 72 times the square root of 3. And this is my answer from when I multiplied these two together. And that's it in its simplest form. So please look for the two things. The things you're going to look for are the like terms. And then when you get to this point, you're going to make a list of your factors so you can simplify. Look for the perfect square. Okay? Let's do one more, and then we'll have you practice some on your own in another video. Let's take a look at this guy. This might be a fun one. Let's take a look. Negative square root 2 times negative 5 square root 2. Alright? Now the one thing you have to remember here is that a negative times a negative is a positive. And there's a secret in this one. There's a hidden 1 right there. So I'm actually going to multiply negative 1 times a negative 5. Then I'm going to multiply the two 2's together. So square root of 2 times the square root of 2. Negative 1 times negative 5 is a positive 5. Negative square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is square root of 4. And we know the square root of 4 is a perfect square. It turns into 2. So 5 times 2, and that is equal to 10. Awesome. So a couple easy examples there. And that would be how you multiply square roots together. Again, thank you for watching Mr. Anderson's Algebra 1 lessons. I hope you had a great time.